Jamie Dornan Dakota Johnson suddenly reunited collision. Hollywood shocked. Hollywood always knows how to surprise people, but rarely is the surprise accompanied by such breathtaking tension as today. Jamie Dornan walked into the lobby of the Sunset Marquis Hotel, where the production crew was gathering for the final casting of the year's most anticipated new drama. He wore a perfectly tailored black suit, his hair a little tousled from the long flight, but his eyes still maintained the same cold and deep expression, the kind that stopped all eyes on the red carpet. No one knew that today would be the first time Jamie and Dakota Johnson appeared together since a series of conflicts on the set of their previous project, conflicts that had become a topic of endless discussion in the entertainment press. When Jamie walked in, whispers and scrutinizing eyes echoed throughout the room. Those on the crew who saw him could sense the strange atmosphere, a mix of tension, curiosity and nameless fear. And then, she appeared. Dakota Johnson. Dakota walked into the hall, her blonde hair loose and natural, her face still bright but her eyes seemed to be searching for something, or more accurately, someone. When their eyes met, they both flinched. Not from surprise, but from the years of not talking, the misunderstandings and unresolved feelings that suddenly came flooding back. Jamie gently gripped the sleeve of his suit jacket, feeling his heart beat faster than usual. He knew this was the only chance he and Dakota had to get over their old differences, if they wanted the movie to be a success. Dakota took a deep breath, trying to keep her smile from being too forced. She knew Hollywood was watching, but the tension was unmistakable. Between her and Jamie had been a wordless battle. A battle where both thought they were right, but neither would back down. Jamie. Dakota's voice was soft but sharp, just enough to make him turn his head. Dakota, Jamie said, his voice low, almost a whisper. No one around could hear it, but to them, it sounded like thunder in the middle of a calm sky. They walked into the casting room. Lights were on everyone's faces, cameras were following their every move. But in Jamie's eyes, there was only Dakota. And in Dakota's eyes, there was only Jamie. The first meeting began. The director, a man known for his strictness and rigor, stood up, his voice full of energy but also tinged with exhaustion from the week of preparation. "Welcome, Jamie and Dakota," he said. "I know this is the first time you've been together since the previous controversy. But today, we need to put the past aside. This film is going to be a big turning point, and I trust you're both professionals enough to do that." Jamie nodded, his lips pressed together. Dakota did too, but her eyes never left his, as if reading every tiny movement, every expression, every tear that might not have fallen but was ready to fall. The first rehearsals began, a heavy dialogue scene, a climax of emotion. Jamie played a man lost after his career collapsed, and Dakota played a woman hurt by betrayal but still had to maintain her public image. As they looked at each other, every script, every line came to life to a degree that surprised even them. Jamie realized that the old anger had now given way to something else, something indescribable, both fragile and strong. Dakota realized the same thing. The old conflicts were now just a mist, and the light of true feelings now touched her heart. In one particular dialogue scene, Jamie had to utter the word sorry. The lines were in the script, but when he said them, he could not control his emotions. His voice trailed off. "Dakota, I never wanted to hurt you." Dakota looked at him, her voice faltering. "Jamie, I know, me too. We let our egos overshadow everything else." The crew stopped shooting for a few seconds, no one spoke. A heavy silence fell. Jamie and Dakota stood there, no longer stars with a distant halo, but two real people, facing each other and what they had been through. That evening, after the last scene, Jamie and Dakota stepped out onto the balcony, overlooking the lights of Hollywood. The cool ocean breeze blew by, washing away the stress of the day, Are we okay? Dakota asked, her voice soft. Jamie took a deep breath, smiled. A smile that no longer had the usual coldness. Yeah, I think we can start over. At least for this movie. Dakota nodded, and for the first time in years, they both smiled. A smile that carried hope, but also a mysterious promise that Hollywood would witness an unexpected reunion. Their first photos appeared in the magazine the next day. Jamie Dornan and Dakota Johnson, unexpected reunion, Hollywood shaken. But few knew that, behind that perfect smile, were hundreds of unspoken emotions, wounds still healing, and a relationship both fragile and explosive, waiting to explode on screen and in real life.